What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Income Producing Asset Show. I am your host, Erwin Anderson, and here at Enter Enterprise, we like to focus on achieving financial security through income producing assets. And today we are here with Darnell, a serial entrepreneur, someone who's killing it in the game. So Darnell, how you doing today, bro?
Man, everything's good. I appreciate you having me on.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Definitely blessed to have you on. Cool, cool. So Darnell, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your story, and how you got started with income producing assets?
Man, as far as back when I can remember when I was first started walking and talking and stuff like that, I knew about money. I used to charge my parents' friends. They always had people at the house. I used to charge them a quarter every time they cussed around me. You know what I'm saying? So I was always, I was like 4 years old, 3, 4 years old, and I was eating them up a quarter a piece. If they didn't have a quarter, I had to get the change in their pocket for saying bad words and stuff around me. So it's always been a part of my DNA ever since I was a youngin. You know what I'm saying? Having my grandmother go to the grocery store, buy the big economy bags of Reese's peanut butter cups, and I'm selling them, 25 cents a piece in grade school. You know, and then honestly, what really took it to the next level was, I was a rapper. Right out of high school, I started rapping. And anytime you want to be a musician, rapper, whatever like that, you automatically become an entrepreneur. So I taught myself how to do graphic design because I needed album covers and flyers and everything like that. And there was nobody in my area when I moved down here from Buffalo to Georgia. It was nobody in my area that was doing it. So I taught myself how to do it. And I started really just getting out there grinding, selling CDs and stuff out the trunk, getting kicked out of malls, getting kicked out of gas stations. And like other artists and businesses in the area, they seen that I had really, decent flyers and everything. I wasn't great initially. I was horrible initially. But yeah, then other artists and other businesses started asking me to design business cards and flyers and stuff for them. And that was another way I started bringing in side income. And then from there, started picking up ways to record music and started having other artists come to my house and pay me to record their music and everything. So now I was doing their recordings for their music, and I was doing all of their graphic design and stuff too. And then that led into me designing merchandise. So I got me t-shirts and hoodies and sweatsuits made, and I'm out there selling that stuff too. So it was just always a natural progression to just be out there grinding some type of way. And of course, moving in these circles and meeting all these different, type of people, you start picking up other ways to grind. I tell people all the time, like, I done probably sold everything but dope. You know what I'm saying? whether sneakers out the trunk, like the bootleg, like I had the Red Monkeys, the Evisos, the Tom Hardys, I mean the Ed Hardys. I had all of the Louis Vuitton, Gucci bags, all that. I was selling everything. I was like the plug for everything. When flat screen TVs came out, I had to connect to get the flat screen TVs, and I was selling those to people. So it's always just been part of me.
So that's dope. So that's dope. So just from an early age and just naturally ingrained in you as a part of who you are, just always hustling and selling stuff, no matter what it is. Just we got to get it by any means necessary, and not selling dope, but selling everything else but dope.
Yeah,
So
right.
that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. So from a young age, you learn some things and getting in the right circles around people, and you picking up from everybody and just making your own sauce into it. So you make graphic designs, and what else do you have going on right now?
Man, so I ended up initially I had a job at a carpet company here in town called Shaw. And I worked there for almost 2 years. And I got put on with one of my homeboys. He had came to my studio and was like, "Hey," he's like, "Yo, Darnell, you got any rappers at the studio right now?" And I was like, "Yeah." So he came to my studio and he popped his trunk, and he had like the Air Force Ones and the Jordans and all the designer, clothes and stuff. And they spent more money with him out of the back of his trunk in 5 minutes than they were spending with me recording their music. So I was like, "Yo, you got to put me on." So initially he wouldn't put me on. He wanted to play middleman. But I kept, I was hitting him up so much, I was getting annoying to him because I was re up so fast. And he's like, look, man, pay me this amount and I'm gonna take you right to the plug. He took me straight down to the plug where I can get everything myself wholesale. Man, and the day that I did like 2,400 in a day selling out the trunk,
Mm.
I put my 2-week notice in at my job, um, because I wasn't making that much a month at the job. You know what I'm saying? So I put my 2-week notice in at the job, and man, everybody thought I was crazy for giving up my job to start working for myself. Um, but that's what I did, and I did that for a few years. And then in 2011, end up getting the opportunity to get hired on at Georgia Power, which is a utility company down here in Georgia. And they pay really good money. It's like one of the premier jobs down here. So I took the chance and I got on there and started doing all right. And I worked there for like 9 years almost, and I was like miserable. So when 2020 hit, when the pandemic hit, I was looking for a way to get out, and that's how I found out about like Marcus Barney, him 500. And I was already, I already had like my recording studio, my graphic design stuff still going, DJing. I still had that stuff going on the side, and it was doing all right. But then, I figured out, I was like, man, there's got to be something better. So I got with Recession Proof. I learned how to leverage my credit the right way. And man, I quit my job in October of 2020. My wife quit her job in December of 2020, and we just been full time out here ever since. So now we have like seven businesses going. So we have Rip Studios where we do the recording, podcasting. We do the graphic design, marketing, branding for people. We have CAJ Event Group where we have the DJ, photo booth, throne services. We have CAJ Legacy Group where we do the financial literacy for people, whether setting up businesses, establishing business credit, personal credit. What else do we got? We have Jackson Park Creations where I have like custom woodworking designs and stuff like that. I can build custom carpentry designs for people. We just got another LLC for CAJ Auto Group, so we're about to start our car dealership. And then we also have Grindstone Solutions. So Grindstone Solutions does our e-commerce business. And then I have BM Enterprises, and BM Enterprises is just an LLC I've just had since like 2005. So we have like 7 entities and stuff.
Right, right. And having LLCs is extremely, extremely powerful because the longer you have them, the more funding you get. Business credit is way heavier than personal credit. So definitely 7 LLCs, definitely an amazing thing to have, especially those seasoned LLCs. Man, that's amazing. So you and your wife both do not have a job, and you guys are both serial entrepreneurs doing your thing with all those different businesses. That is amazing. I would say the initial thing that drew me to you was the way you use your real estate or your property to provide the studio, the auto shop, the graphic designers, and the whole experience that you provide with the podcast and was it photo shoots, all that in this Jackson Palace or Jackson House, right?
Jackson Park. You could call it Jackson. Nobody's ever been to Jackson Palace before, but that's pretty dope. I like Jackson Palace.
Yeah.
Yeah, speak that into existence. We're gonna have a palace pretty soon. But a lot of people call it the compound. But yeah, we actually built a facility on our property that's actually bigger than our house, and it's right next door to our house. It's about 2,500 square feet, and yeah, it houses mostly all of our businesses. So it houses the CAJ Event Group, Rip Studios. We have a private lounge in there, and we also have Jackson Park Creations where we do the custom woodworking. So all of that is there, and we monetize it. We monetize the backyard area of our property, and we monetize that building, whether for content creation, private events, all of that type stuff. So I mean, we literally could stay home and we just make money from the house. We don't have to leave and go anywhere. Everybody comes to us.
Man, that's amazing. So you turned your house into like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different streams of income off of one property. You build another compound. You do events in the backyard. It's really amazing. You don't do Airbnb, right?
No, we not yet, but that's something we're getting into. We're actually flying out. We're flying out to Texas next month to go and look at a couple of apartments that we're going to be starting Airbnb on. So we're trying to get. We're probably going to get jump started with 2 to 3 properties in Texas, and then a couple in Alabama as well too.
Definitely the Airbnb space, but then also, man, like, so your thing is like event space and podcast studio, and then the auto shop in the property.
Well, it's not an auto shop; it's the woodworking shop, so carpentry. So like I do like so
Woodwork.
yeah, custom woodworking and everything. But we've rented out the backyard and the recording studio. We've rented it out for a movie scene. We've rented it out for a couple of music videos. Also I own 2 other 1 acre lots in my neighborhood, and one of those lots I turned into a private shooting range. So people actually pay me to come and shoot their guns on my property, and
Wow.
we shot a movie scene down there too. So and both of my 1 acre lots, both of them are wooded lots, and we shot movie scenes. The same movie, they used both lots to shoot 2 separate scenes.
Wow, you said an acre for each lot?
Yeah, yeah. So what I did was, I was walking my dog a few years ago, and I happened to see a sign posted on a tree said "Lot for sale by owner." So I just happened. I came home and I looked up on Zillow.com, and I didn't see that lot on Zillow, but I seen another one. So I called the number from the number that I seen on the tree, and the guy gave me a heck of a deal on it. And so I called the other people and asked them if they would be willing to come down on the price. So I was able to buy 2 1 acre lots in my neighborhood, a golf course community in the county limits, not in the city limits. So I don't have no HOA, anything like that. So I bought both of those 1 acre lots from each within a week of each other. I closed on each one of them, 1 week after the other. And the plan, the long-term plan is to be able to, pass those down to both of my kids when they're ready to possibly build their own property, build their own house. They have a 1 acre lot they can get jump started on. But in the meantime, we just using them
Wow.
to have fun.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's super dope. That's a lot of land um, that you can pass down for generation to generation. That's definitely something important that everybody needs to know. You have these assets that you turn into multiple streams of income. Go ahead, you can say something?
Oh yeah, I mean the big plan is I want to get a lot more acres than that. Those are cool to have in a little residential neighborhood, but the big plan is to get me like 20 plus acres somewhere.
Mm, that's super dope. Yeah, the power of land, man. It's crazy. You can do like agriculture because people will always need food, water, and shelter, and all that comes from land is a big part too of those. So man, that's super dope. With all everything that you're doing, um, you're married, you got kids, you got these businesses, man. How would you say the best advice to balance, time and your business and your family life and all that stuff?
I'm still a work in progress. I think like a lot of people who reach out to me, there's quite a few people who ask me about time management, and that's just something I hadn't quite figured out yet. Like it's something that I'm working on. Me and my wife, we talk about it all the time. So we definitely are looking at trying to be a little bit more efficient. We got to make sure that, so the biggest thing is when you're a full-time entrepreneur, and you don't have like a set schedule, you need to try to create a set schedule. And then you also need to make sure that you can dedicate some time for like self-care, like we've only went on vacation one time this year. We did a little mini vacation, but it was like a work trip to Alabama a few weeks ago to go and look at some properties and stuff out there. But we definitely just, hung out while we were there. And so we want to make sure that we prioritize like self-care so we're not stressing ourselves out or we're not working ourselves into the ground. And, we want to vacation a little bit more. Um, and then so being able to she gets on to me a lot about cutting off. So it's like because I'll have people texting me about business, whether it be like designing graphics, a brand new rebrand. I have people texting me, all throughout the night. Sometimes first thing I have people texting me at 6 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and I have messages waiting on me from like 2 o'clock in the morning. It's crazy. But so sometimes she be getting, she get on to me about putting my phone down and just, try to take better care of myself and, focus on the family a little bit more. So that's definitely something I have a lot of room for improvement in.
Okay, cool, cool. Well, based on like, cause how long you been doing entrepreneurship again?
I mean, full time for 2 years now. And I still had the things going on. They were more like side hustles while I was working at Georgia Power. But before Georgia Power, I was working for myself for almost 4 years, 3.5, 4 years. So everything has a season. I learned a lot of skills and stuff while I was working. I tell people all the time, while you are working your 9 to 5 and everything like that, try to learn as much as you can. So if it is in your plans to step out and be your own boss and become an entrepreneur, that you can take some of the knowledge that you worked at your job, you could take that and pour it towards your own thing. Like my wife, she has like a couple of degrees and a certification. And I told her, I was like, man, you making these other people rich with your knowledge and skill set, and you can do that in our business. And ever since she stepped off and helped us with us, like she's been the thing that's keeping everything going behind the scenes. Like I have a lot of visions for certain things, but she definitely makes things tick. And now she's ready to step out and create some of her own visions and keep them things going. So the good thing is just having a good support system and being able to support your significant other.
Man, that's extremely important. That's definitely a major gem right there. That support system, your wife is on board. And man, you talking about working hard for somebody else and making somebody else rich, having a job, that's definitely something that a lot of people do. But when you're, together and you guys are working on your own business, your own legacy that you can pass down to your kids and your kids' kids, man, that's definitely something major and very important for everybody to think at and look at. So, man, here at Under Income Producing Assets, we focus on maximizing our time because we are very busy professionals with full-time jobs or family obligations and other circumstances. So now we're going to switch to the coaching round or the lightning round, and this is basically the how-to part of the show, and this is the part where and our listeners can get expert advice on having a sustainable business or income producing asset, from somebody such as yourself. So we're gonna ask a few questions, answer the best of your ability, keep it 1 to 2 minutes as we, hit the lightning round.
All right.
So number one, do you think somebody or another person can have the same success, similar or greater success if they were working a full-time job or if they had, very minimal amounts of time to contribute to their business? And then why or why not?
Yeah, I think you definitely can. It just depends on where your passion and stuff is at too. Like I was talking to a friend earlier today and he was talking about like not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Some people love having their jobs. And I'm like, that's dope. You could definitely, stay at your 9 to 5, but you could always have like producing asset, income producing asset, like such as an Airbnb. Like who wouldn't, if you have a job that you're passionate about, maybe you got degrees and you got years and stuff tied up into it. But if you can get you an Airbnb and that produces, a few $1,000s extra income for you a month, that allows you to provide more for your family, do some of the things that you want to do, vacation, buy, expensive gifts or get you a nice little toy or something like that. So I think that you definitely can, do that if you can find something that's a little bit more passive.
Nice, nice. Okay, good, good. So, if a person, had very limited amount of time, what could they do, to start an income producing asset such as yours?
Man, so what you could also do is you can leverage your credit to get a couple of credit cards, and then you can also leverage your personal credit to jumpstart your business credit. So, say for instance, like I found an income producing asset like a Airbnb in Texas, right? So, what we're going to do is we're going to go down there, we're going to look at that Airbnb, we're going to sign up for it and get it in a corporate lease in our LLC name, right? And then if we need to furnish that, this particular Airbnb already comes furnished. So once we sign that lease, we might change out some artwork and stuff on the walls or anything like that. But we could put that on Airbnb almost immediately. Airbnb, VRBO, Furnish Finder, and everything like that. So if the rent is like $2,000 a month, but you can get $200 a day renting it out. And if you rent it out for a minimum of 20 days out of the month, you know what I'm saying? That's $4,000 right there. The cost, your overhead on it is $2,000, but you're gonna make $2,000 extra. If you get two of those, then that's $4,000, income you're making right there. If you get a property management firm who can handle your cleaning company and all of the customer service aspects, and you pay them a percentage, whether it be 15 to 25%, you losing out on that 15 to 25%, but at the same time, you hands free, you don't have to do anything. And you can set it up on Airbnb where they automatically split. So if Erwin is my property manager and he takes 15% and we're making, $10,000 a month out of all of my Airbnbs and he gets 1,500 out of that, I get 8,500 and he's the one who handles all the day-to-day operations and I don't do anything. My company's name is just on the lease. I mean, why not take it? And if it isn't furnished, you can leverage one of your credit cards, one of your business credit cards. If you get a brand new business credit card, you get that business credit card that's going to give you 0% interest for the first 12 months. And all you got to do is make the minimum payment. So if you get a business credit card or you get that Amazon, you can get an Amazon net 30, and the Amazon will give you like $8,000 to $10,000 net 30 to pay. So now you can furnish the whole entire apartment on Amazon and you could just be paying the minimum monthly payments and stuff and let that income start rolling in and you could be paying that payment off, with the income coming in from renting it out.
Sheesh. Preach. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hell yeah. And if you're looking for somebody to manage your company, Andrew Enterprises does that too. But definitely, man, dropping some game for sure. All right. This one is probably my favorite question. If you were down to your last $100 and you wanted to start a business similar to yours, what would you do to make money ASAP?
I tell somebody, I'll give you a real quick gem, right? Um, reach out to some entrepreneurs and people that want to start they need branding. There's other people that need branding, maybe they need a logo or anything like that. You can charge anywhere from, $200 to $10,000 for a logo design, and you can go on freelancer.com and you can do a $50 contest and everything like that. You'll get 300 to 400 submissions for the logo designs. You take the top 5 that you like, submit it to your client and everything. They pick out the one that they like. You give them the $50 prize, and you just made however much that you charge for the logo. So if you charge $1,000 for the logo and give them all the intellectual property and everything like that, you just made $950 for spending $50.
Sheesh, sheesh. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. So definitely a hustler at nature, man. Multiple streams of income coming in, multiple LLCs, and that's major game. The power of LLCs is incredible. He talked about how you can make money quickly with just $100 to the logo. He also touched on the power of support and family, being on the same vision. Talked about the acres of land, and man, just your whole story and your whole being is definitely incredible. Podcast, the studio, the outdoor events, just amazing. So man, I appreciate you as we come to a close. But just real quick, what is like business or personal development book that you can recommend to the listeners out there?
So I mean, I was listening to the master investor Ian on David Shan's podcast the other day, and he was talking about how he reads a minimum of 50 pages a day in a book. Man, so that's definitely something I need to go on because I tell people all the time when I was working for somebody else, when I was working at the job, I used to read books a lot more because I was working night shift a lot. So on those night shifts, in between, having to go to do my rounds and check my equipment, I'd be in the break room reading books all the time. And that definitely ignited me and helped push me further as far as like trying to get out of there a lot faster. So that's one thing you can always do as far as self-development is make sure you read, so you can always expand your mind, build up upon your knowledge and everything like that. So definitely read and pour in yourself. And also, when I was at the Circle of CEOs conference last month, it was a guy talking called Bill Hauser, and he spoke about the 20-40-10 rule. So whatever it is that you want your business, your projected income. So say, for instance, Ander Enterprises and stuff, your goal is to hit $1 million for 2023. If you want to hit $1 million, you do the 20-40-10 rule. That means 20% of that $1 million, 200,000 will go into branding and marketing. So you have to spend 200,000 to hit that $1 million mark. 400,000 is going to go to payroll, whether that's going to be yourself, VAs, other people that you're going to hire to help get your business to where it needs to do to hit that $1 million mark. And then 10% needs to go into self-development. So that means you're going out to conferences, buying mentors, reading books, going to seminars, private masterminds and stuff like that. So that means you need to spend $100,000 on developing yourself. So the 20-40-10 rule. So, you know what I'm saying? That's 70%. You still got 30% left over to pour back into the company, because your salary is part of that 40%. So that's definitely something that I really took to heart when I heard that. And it's something that I'm definitely going to try to work on.
That's good. That's good. 20-40-10 rule. I like that. I like that. Awesome, man. I appreciate you. So, man, how can the Ander listeners, get in touch with you?
Man, just reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram. It's Darnell Jackson Jr. Also, if you want to, check out our financial literacy group is cajlegacygroup.com. That's the same on all social media, CAJ Legacy Group. And the CAJ stands for our kids' names, Cairo Amari Jackson and Kalia Amani Jackson. And also, when I was a rapper, my rap name was Jack, JAC. So if you flip it around, that's CAJ. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh, that's dope. Hell yeah, that's what's up. Man, definitely a stand-up guy. Hey, real quick, where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I'm gonna be jet setting. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like bi-coastal, living in. I'm gonna have seasonal houses. So we plan on possibly buying some property overseas somewhere, whether it be in the Caribbean somewhere or maybe over in Africa. We plan on buying a property and we can split our time up amongst the various houses and stuff we plan on. Having our businesses to where they're kind of on autopilot. We have the different income producing assets coming in. And overseas, American money right now, you can live very well, especially if you go down like to Central America, like Belize or something like that, or if you go over to Africa and Ghana, you can definitely buy property and stuff over in Ghana right now for really cheap. And then once you buy property and stuff over there, you can apply to become a dual citizen, so you can get benefits from both countries and stuff. So I can take some of the knowledge and the hustle and game ambition that I got over here in the States. I could take that, transfer that over to Ghana, and do very well for myself. I got a couple of friends that live over there right now.
Man, that's super dope. That's super dope. I definitely see you doing that. And man, once again, I appreciate you, the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Darnell. Man, thank you so much for coming on. And man, God bless you, brother. And
Hey, you know
appreciate you.
what,
Let's
Erwin?
go.
I can't wait to look back at this interview. You putting this on YouTube, right? So I can't wait to look back at this interview in 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And see
Oh yeah.
how I come, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when you're in the middle of doing things, you don't realize how blessed you are and how far you've already done, how far you've already come. And man, I know I'm extremely blessed and I've accomplished some pretty good things, so far. And my ambition is out of this world. So I'm excited to look back in 5 years and see everything else that I've been able to accomplish and how many people that I've been able to help accomplish their dreams and stuff as well too. So I appreciate you let me get on here and leave my mark. And this is just going to be like a timestamp in history. So people, like not a lot of people know about me yet, but they're gonna learn a lot more about me and my wife. She about to make, she about to make a big splash out here. So what I'm saying, I'm excited for people to look back and be like, oh man, I found this video of Darnell before anybody was really up on him.
Hey, there you have it. Make sure you connect with Darnell, man. He's going places, doing things. Him and his wife, man. I'm happy to be a part of the document of your process, man. And make sure y'all connect with all the gems he would dropped here. Definitely, Darnell is somebody that you want to connect with.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one.